Hey everyone, I'm Stefanie Mullen from RampantDesignTools.com, and today I'm going to show you how to use the transitions found in Rampant Style Kits in Final Cut Pro 10. Now, if you are not familiar with Rampant Style Kits, head on over to RampantStyleKits.com and check out all the amazing packs that Rampant has put together for your video needs. Everything from emojis all the way to business kits, Rampant has your video style needs covered, and it's super easy to use them, and I'm going to show you how. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this is all about how to use the transitions from the style kits in Final Cut, so let's jump over to Final Cut and get started. First, let me start by saying that Rampant Style Kit effects are .mov files, so you'll be importing them just like any other video file. So you can go up here to File, Import, right here, Media. You can come here, right click, Import Media, or if you're like me, I have my Finder here. I like to grab the whole folder, drag it in, drop it like that. That way I get a keyword right here, and here are all my transitions. Any way you like it to import, get them inside of Final Cut and you're ready to start. And I'm going to show you a few techniques to help you get started. Now, before we begin, I want to point out the different transitions that come in style kits. One transition you will find is a light transition. It looks like this. So it's a light. Okay, here's another one. These are light transitions. And then you'll also see matte transitions, which are going to be black and white animated shapes or something that comes at you like this that goes for a transition. There's one, here's one, and here's another example. Okay, these are matte transitions. So light transitions right here, and then matte transitions. There are two different types. And I'm going to talk about each one of these separately. We're going to first start with light transitions, and we're going to start with how do we put these in our edit? Well, here's our light transition, and here's our video footage down here. And I want to put a transition between each of these points because it's kind of some rough cuts right there. We go from scene to scene. So let's go ahead and grab one of these light transitions, drag it down, and drop it in. And I want to zoom in just a little bit so we can see the transition. Now, there are a few steps with dealing with these transitions, and I'm going to start with step number 1, and that's finding the transition point. Before I do anything with this, I like to go and scroll through and find the brightest point, so where the light covers the frame the most, which is pretty much right about there, and I like to press M to put a marker, okay? So if you didn't see it, let me undo that. I'm going to look for the brightest point, which is right about there. Make sure my clip is highlighted and press M. Okay, it's going to put a marker right here at my where I want my transition point to be. Now all I have to do is move my transition clip and line up my marker with my edit point. It makes it really simple. So I can bring this in, move it around. You'll see right now that this transition point is lined up with my edit point. Now, once we've lined it up, we head on to step number 2, and that's changing the blend mode. Right now, we can't see our video underneath. All we see is the light. So we highlight our effect, come over here to our inspector, change this from normal to screen. Now, if I roll this through, you'll see that the flare that we have right here, the light effect, is naturally blending with our footage. It looks beautiful. And that's it. That's how simple that is. Now, from here, there are a few things you can work with. And we're going to start with the first one, and it's sizing. Now, our effects are 4K, but we are working in HD timeline. So I want to zoom out of my window here. I want to go to about 25% so you can see my whole frame. And I want to show you that by default, Final Cut is going to size down my effect to fit inside my footage. And I know that because if I come over to Spatial Conform, it says Fit. If I want to change this to None, and I click on this box right here, you're going to see the box of how big this 4K file is. That is huge. And I love it because now I can play and I have ultimate control over what my effect does. So now I can move this around and I can rewind that. Watch how the different effect it gives. See that? So if we do undo, where it's the regular size, undo again. Here was the regular, and then I can change it to 4K by changing it to None, and then now I can move this around. Maybe I only want one flare to come through the bottom there. See, you get all these different looks, and that's by using the sizing. So I can reposition, I can rescale, I can change the rotation, I can do a lot of stuff. Now, if you want this to be HD and fit your whole project down here really easy, you just change this from None to Fill. Okay, and then we have to reset our position, of course, just like that. And then we roll that back through, and it's fit our HD clip. So either way, 4K size or HD, it's up to you. Move it around, play with the position, the scale, and the rotation. All right. Another thing you can work with on this is the opacity. You can actually turn the opacity down. Maybe it's a little too bright for you. You can tweak it so that it works just right. So highlight your video clip, come up here to your opacity in your inspector and just bring that down just a bit. Now, I caution you not to bring it down too much because you still want it to have a nice transition point, but watch this. So see, that's a nice subtle, a little bit less punchy light transition. That's beautiful. All right, I'm going to take that opacity back up. And the other thing you can do here is change the color. All right, so we have this really nice gold flare, but maybe I want it to be, maybe I want to match this red in her shirt. Well, how do I do that? Well, what's really cool about this is because these are just movie files right here, we can use any of the effects built into Final Cut, and one of those effects is color. So all we have to do is pick colorize over here, drag it onto our footage, and you will see automatically it's changed to this orange color. And like I said, maybe I want it to be a little bit more red. So come over here and let's change it to a little bit red. And then if we rewind that, there you go. So now we've changed the size if we want. We can change the opacity if we want, and then we can change the color if we want. The possibilities really are endless, so get creative, have fun, and just sort of enjoy sort of painting on top of your video. I love that. All right, let's do another light transition on this edit right here. I'm going to come up here, grab this one. This looks really nice. So I'm going to bring it down. This is how easy it is. The next step is to find our edit point. So right about, looks right there. So let's put a mark. And then as you can see here, we need to fix the sizing because this one's a little bit short. So we're going to say, oh, let's just do fill. And then I need to match up my edit point to this edit point, or my marker to this edit point, and then change the blend mode from normal to screened. Let's roll that through. And that looks great. Play it through one more time. Awesome. Now, before we go on to anything else, I want to tell you one more thing. Did you know that you can actually change the speed of these effects? It's movie files, right? So why can't we? Well, we can. Maybe this transition is too slow for what I want. Maybe I want it to be faster. No problem. All I need to do is highlight my clip, come up here to my timing options, and I can choose a different timing. Maybe I want it to be 4 times. Now, what's really cool about this is my marker stays at the exact same place. So I just move that down, put my marker there, and now I have a quicker transition so it quickly goes from one to the next without it being so slow. You have ultimate creativity here. You can do what you want because these are all just movie files, which is great. All right, so we all understand how light transitions work. These are really simple. Drag them down, change the sizing, change the blend mode, and you're done. Then you can work with scale, rotation, if you want to put it in 4K size, or you can work with the speed, color, all that stuff. That's all up to you. So, but it's really simple. Drag it down, put it on, change the blend mode. Super easy. Now let's talk about our matte transitions. And these are different from the light transitions, and I'm going to show you all the steps to get started. And we're going to move down here. And as you can see right here, I have 2 clips in my timeline, right? I have 2 clips here, this couple here, and then they're going to be walking. And this is a pretty hard edit, so we want to put a transition right here. We're going to use a matte transition. And I have this cool snowman transition right here, which I really love. We're in the snow. Why not? Let's make it snowman. How do we do that? Well, the first thing we have to do, and this is step 1, is we have to set up our video clips. Well, how do we do that? Well, we need to take our second clip and we need to place it on top of our first. Okay, that's the very first step. Set up your video clips. Now, once we have our video clip up here, we just need to grab our transition, drag it down here, and place it on our storyline here, our storyboard. So before we do anything, we're going to do a mica marker again, just like we did with our light transitions. And what I'm doing is I want to find the place where my transition covers the entire screen. So I'm going to use my arrow keys, and I'm going to zoom back in so we can see. So I want you to see here, I'm going to use my arrow keys, and I'm going to mark right there where it covers the entire screen. The entire screen is white. Let's place a mark there. Now this mark is going to line up here with my edit point of my first clip. Super easy, okay? So now we have this clip and it finishes right here. Now the only thing we have to do now is take our second clip and move it down and match it up right here to the beginning of our transition. Now we can shrink up our transition back here, make it match our clip, and easy peasy. All right, now what we're going to do now is select our transition, come up here to the blend mode. Let's get where you can see it right there. Come up here to the blend mode, change it from normal to stencil alpha. Now everything that was white is now going to show our video, which is exactly what we want. Okay, which takes us to the next step, which is going to be to create a compound clip of these 2 clips so we can see this clip underneath. Really simple. Highlight everything, right click, select new compound clip, call it whatever you want. And now, once we do this, if I rewind this, Now we have our transition going from this clip with our snowman making a really cool mat, and we've transitioned to the couple walking. That's beautiful. Let's watch it one more time. I love it. Super easy, super simple. All right. So let's make this roll on again. We're going to do another one. This time I'm going to do it a little faster so that you can see just how fast this is. So here's our two clips. We have this really cool record player going to this girl, and we're going to first set up our timeline. Let's drag her up here. We're going to use this neat Twitter mat right here. Grab it, drag it down. Need to set up my marker point. So let's find out exactly where this bird covers the frame. So let's go frame by frame. Right there, put a marker, match up our marker to our end of our first clip, match up our second clip to the beginning of our mat. Let's shrink our mat up a little. We don't need that long. And then change our blend mode of our mat from normal to stencil alpha. And then compound these two clips together. Call it whatever you like. And then we have a transition. That is beautiful. Love how the Twitter bird comes at us. Okay, so that's great. Super simple, super easy. Now, here's a bonus tip. Okay, and this is regarding matte transitions in an edit. Let's say, I'm gonna move down here. You already, zoom out a little bit. You already have an edit set up, right? I have these edits. I have this really cool animals. We went on a safari and we saw all these really great animals. I already have this set up, okay? Well, here's what happens when you do an edit. If I take this clip and I move it up here, all of my other clips are now underneath this. Oh no, what do I do? Well, it's really simple. All I'm going to do is move my playhead down here to the end of my first clip. I'm going to press Option W, and I'm going to add a gap. Now I can shrink this gap down, so now at the end of this, it still goes into my next clip. Okay, so if you're working in edit, you already have this really nice edit going and you want to put a matte transition in, and you move your video clip up here, all you have to do is add a gap down here, Option W, and then extend your gap to fit your clip so that the other clips will still show after that second clip. Super easy. So why not? Let's go ahead and add some transitions here. We have this cool transition, so grab it, drag it down, find the edit point that actually covers the frame, place a marker, set that marker up, move our clip back. We can move our gap back now. Let's shrink up our matte transition. And let's change the blend mode. Whoop. And now we have to compound this clip. Say whatever you like. And now we have a cool transition from the birds to this gazelle deer thing. And then if I want to keep going, I'm just going to add this one up here. Okay. And keep extending my gap out. And then maybe I want to use that exact same transition. So I'll put it on top. Find the point that's marked with the marker. Put a marker there. Line it up with the end of my second clip. Move my first clip. Shrink my transition up. Change the blend mode to stencil alpha. Compound clip these together. Say OK. And now we have our second clip. So we have zoop to our zebra. And why not? Let's keep going. Let's add our cheetah in here. So let's put our cheetah up there. Let's extend our storyline out. Grab our transition again, drag it down, drop it in. Find our transition point that covers the screen, which is right there. Make a mark. Line our mark up with the end of our first clip. Move our second clip to the beginning of the mat. And then shrink this up. Change the blend mode to stencil alpha, which now we see. Now we compound all these clips together. Done. And if I roll this back through and push play, we have some amazing transitions from all of these animals. And look how easy that was. So simple, so easy. That looks amazing. So amazing. Now we get this question a lot. When do I use a transition? When is it appropriate? Well, the answer to that is use it whenever you like. Add a light transition to quickly change between scenes. Maybe you have a harsh edit point. Use it there. Use a matte transition to add a shape or style to your video, just like we did here with the Twitter bird. Use it wherever you like. These transitions can do so many things. So definitely go out, experiment, have fun, and make your video get noticed today. Once again, this is Stefanie Mullen with RampantDesignTools.com. Thanks for watching.